I'll give you my card.
Do get bad advice.
Yeah. You know, be careful.
In the oven at a certain temperature, loosen up your car. But I'm like, oh, it's an Alienware, shells, plastic. I don't know if it's going to do well at 200 degrees in the oven. But thank you.
I thought you were going to say it works, but I was like,
no, I was easy. And I waited for a couple more responses. But he kept sending.
Did did that guy make video cards? Is that why he was trying to get you? Oh, he makes ovens. Okay.
No, he's jobless.
We've got another question.
I think we can all agree as awesome as Twitter is, sometimes there are some confusions in how you send things out. I was curious for guys who and girls who have used the process so much, if maybe you guys have embarrassing stories like I know I do, where maybe things that were meant to be direct messages go out to your entire Twitter streams, and when you guys have as many followers as you have, if you have any interesting stories for DM fans.
That's how I found out about something from Clone Wars Season 3, actually, is that you said, oh, I can't believe this is going to happen, and it was supposed to be a DM, apparently, to Bonnie. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you know, I actually, it was a funny one with Kyle once, where we were actually just texting, and I was saying something, I was trying to kind of, you know, make it sound like, okay, I'm happy. It was a gig we were doing, the Crazies. And I'm sending him a thing, and I'm like, does that sound kind of like I'm being kind of like, you know, big-headed or something? And I go to hit, and I hit send, and I went, oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. But Kyle's like, just, you know, whatever. But it was, you have that, you're worried. No, you know, and you realize you hit that button, but it was like,
Someone just sent me one the other day. It was an actress, and she was like talking about going to something, and it was supposed to be a DM.
Yeah.
And they just basically said their location, and it's
not
Flash bomb.
And all of a sudden, like, wait, where? So-and-so's up here? Let's go. And I was like, yeah, that's why you just have to be very careful, because you can't really, you can undo it, but then it's still out there, so it's retrieved it. It's also
Yeah, TweetDeck is really dangerous if you have multiple accounts. I've done it, but with the innocuous stuff. But at work, we have a lot of different accounts. We have like, I don't know, 50 Twitter accounts, so I can ask. And my boss sometimes will tweet things out of the wrong accounts. And that is, in some cases, that is really, really bad. Yeah, and all public, but they're...
I was at a tattoo parlor once, and someone showed me, so they showed me this very low set tattoo down by the trench run, so to speak. And it was an Akbar, and it's a tramp, because it's supposed to be like a tramp stamp, so it's a tramp stamp. And so I'm like, oh my God, I have to take a picture of this. And so I took a picture meaning to put it on my Bonnie Girl Twitter, and I put it on our official Twitter. Now I try to keep our official Star Wars Twitter as not so sexy as it could be, and I do that out of the respect. I know, right? But I did send it there, and that's the day I learned which app I had deleted the message the quickest, because I didn't have it yet. And so by the time I got around, because I wasn't near a computer, I was on my iPhone, so when I finally got around to deleting it, it had gotten retweeted 300 times, so it was too late to delete it, because once something's retweeted, it's out there forever. I didn't get into too much trouble. I think someone was like, you know, you might want to keep the low-set tattoos out of our Twitter, but they don't delete them after. You can, no, there's this... Here's this cool thing, there's this, if you Google it, I can't remember the company that does it, but you can get hardcover books made of every tweet you've ever done, or anyone else. And I ordered one just for Nathan Fillion, and I ordered one for Simon Pegg. It's just a book of all their tweets they've ever done since they've been on Twitter.
Are they illustrated?
Yeah. Huh?
Are they illustrated? Do they put?
No, I wanted to. I told Simon I would illustrate his, because I don't. If you follow Simon Pegg and and Nick Frost, Simon Pegg's a great actor. If you don't know him, I'm sorry, but you should know him. He did Spaced and Shaun of the Dead, and he's got a new movie coming out called Paul. But he and Nick and Simon's wife pretended to, and Star Trek, whatever. So anyway, they pretended to be possessed. And I'm an ex-Catholic and a huge horror fan, so I'm like, I am totally going to do an exorcist on Twitter. So I did a Twitter exorcism, word for word, of the litany that you're supposed to use on Twitter for Simon's benefit. And I got cut off 2 lines before I could finish it, because Twitter thought I was spamming. So I had to have my friend finish it for me. But basically, and I lost like 300 followers, because they thought I was just this religious zealot. They didn't realize I was doing an exorcism, but it worked, so I don't know. but it's going to end up in a hardcover book. So just know if you do tweet it and you delete it, it's fine. It's out there. It's going to be deleted unless 3,000 people retweeted you. But if you don't get rid of your tweets, it might end up in a hardcover, leather-bound book in someone's library.
Also, the Library of Congress, they're archiving all of our tweets now. So
Awesome.
you guys are awesome. It's gonna be out there forever.
It's a tramp.
Oh yeah, there's Sarah Finowitz, who's the voice of Darth Maul. He's on Twitter as well, and he is probably my favorite. He's absolutely hysterical. So if you don't follow him, look up Peter Serafinowicz.
And
He's
Carrie Fisher.
hysterical. Carrie Fisher is very colorful.
We have a page in Club J down there with all these Twitters if you need to find them.
And we got a preliminary question.
Yes, I was wondering what is the different experience for Twitter users if you have less followers? Is the experience different? Should you concentrate on trying to get more followers? Is it more fun that way? Or should you just kind of tweet and hope people follow?
Do not think about it. Just tweet. Because if you start obsessing, when you start obsessing about your follower count, you get crazy. And you're like, what did I do? You lose a follower. What did I do? What did I say?
Sometimes it's just a bad account deleted, or they said something to someone else and they got kicked off Twitter. You can't take anything personal like that. And everybody starts out with a small amount of people, so it's just try to say what's true to your heart and make it as interesting as possible, as succinct as possible, and then people will follow you. But if you're not communicating on it, if you're not speaking on it, you're not going to increase the followers if that's your goal. So you do need to have a voice on Twitter if you want to increase the followers. And you can link your Facebook and your Twitter, and there's all different ways to help you, increase your output and your screen space, so that people will see what you're talking about. So I think it's important to actually, say what you're thinking rather than just following people, because that's how you're going to get more followers. Just by saying something that someone can respond to, and they can connect to you, and that's why they want to follow you, and then you can respond back to them. So start the dialogue is the best way to really, get that going. But no matter how many you have, it's still fun because you're going to come across what's out there. I find that Twitter, it's a huge world, but it's a very small world too. And in 3 minutes, you're going to find out Michael Jackson died. It's just like, it's instant.
Jackson died?
That's how we find out news. I don't even go to CNN anymore, though you have to be careful because sometimes people die that aren't really dead and they get really upset when they find out they're dead. I don't know, Bill Cosby or something. He's constantly dead on Twitter. But yeah, it's one of the, and also, he's died like he's like a vampire at this point. But yeah, another thing also keep in mind, just be yourself, and I find being funny, people will retweet you if you're funny. If you're just whining about someone, no one cares. But like, don't be Luke, but be more like Carrie Fisher or Han, and then, or I'm using real life. Use Leia or Han. I'm mixing metaphors, but and don't care about who's following you, because sometimes, like, I remember the first time I was on Twitter, I got upset because I got 100 like followers all at once, and then I looked who it was, and it was like 100 porn bots. So, which means I'm either doing something right or wrong with my tweets. But it's not a contest. This isn't who has the highest count, because if you look on Twitter at the highest count, some people are going to be celebrities and they already have that, or it's Justin Bieber. You don't want to be Justin Bieber, or it's a cat. Or it's a cat, or, whatever. Or it's like some marketing manager that just follows everyone, and so they follow them back. And that's impossible to navigate on Twitter. So it's not a contest. It's a way for you to meet friends. It's a way to connect with other Star Wars fans. It's a way for you to be yourself. It's a way to stalk celebrities. It's, it's a way to have fun online that's easy, simple, and doesn't take a huge amount of time. And since I'm pretty lazy, so that's why I like using it, because you can look like you're doing a lot, only 140 characters at a time.
Yeah, and don't forget hashtags too. They're useful.
Yeah,
Don't overuse them.
That's a good way to find content too. So if you do a hashtag on Star Wars, or a hashtag on Fandom 140, like this panel, or a hashtag on It's a Tramp, or like Star Wars tattoos, or this whole event, the hashtag is SWC and then V for 5, so you can find out everything that's been going on and what people have been tweeting about Celebration. It's a great way to just find content, find other people, find other fans, and find fun stuff.
So, with that said, I'm getting the convention equivalent of a Twitter fail. Well, so we need to wrap up here.
I think we should all each, if you have an iPhone, take a twit pic of either us or yourselves, and then just so it looks like a zillion people were here, and also it looks like we're cooler than everybody else anyway.
Everybody's style.
Yeah, right.
Get out your droids and your iPhones.
Oh, yes, we have to plug the Droid devices.
Yes. Oh, and I guess that thing too.